Hey guys, welcome back to some more Illuvium. In today's video, we did just get another leak over on the Discord from Von Neumann of the battle screen. So I wanted to go through this, go through some other combat related videos and images that we do have. There's like a little sneak peek at another new Illuvial that I hadn't actually seen before until I was preparing for this video. So we've got that as well. And I just want to talk about combat in general, what we do know, some speculation, because the combat we do know it is going to be auto battler, but at this stage, the exact specifics on how it's going to work and all that stuff are not quite known. So I just want to have a bit of a chat about it because I'm pretty much just really excited about the game and I know a lot of other people are. So let's get into it. Okay, so first off, we'll kick it off with this screen that did get leaked over on the Discord. There's a few things that I'd want to note about it. So just to get you across everything that's going on. Now, up the top here, up the top of the screen, we do have what looks like the enemies. I feel like this screen isn't like taken from a precise battle. I feel like it's more just like a prepared thing. So this would be like the health bars, and it looks like we've got the energy bars obviously of the enemies, and how that would be working. And like they're supposed to be in it. You can see the one there would be dead, but they're obviously not there. So I think in real terms, like this is what your enemy's team's health bars would be represented. But like I said, I don't think it's like an actual combat situation. I think it's more of a stage thing where they don't actually have the enemies in there. But then the next thing I want to go to is just these like the character cards, the portraits, whatever you want to call them. Now, there's a few things. Every character card that we've seen so far does have a deployment cost of the 16 energy. You can see down the bottom here, just behind me almost, that we do have a, let's move that across. It looks like a 72 energy. I'm assuming this is energy, once again, assuming. And I don't know if some of these characters will end up fluctuating on energy costs and stuff like that. And to me, that would be a standard thing, but not too sure whether these are just placeholders or not. Then we do have the 5 key elements being water, earth, nature, fire, and wind. Now, you might say, look at it and go, okay, Axon is water, but what is Axodon? And Axodon is Maelstrom, and I'm pretty sure Maelstrom is water and water, or it might be water and wind. So what we have over here in the white paper of the game overview, you can see we have affinities. Okay, so it must be water and water, because you can see here that when they evolve, air, where they get like a second attribute, and frost equals air and water. So air and water is going to give you frost. I'm pretty sure water and water is Maelstrom. That makes plenty of sense. But you've got overgrowth, which is nature and nature. You've got inferno, which is fire and fire. So we can actually see that when we go back over here and we check out something like, I was going to say the Ramfire. Let's see if I can zoom in enough so that you guys can see. So the Ramfire is Inferno and Slayer. We'll talk about the Slayer side of things in a sec. But you do have Inferno, which is going to be fire and fire. So that's how you get that. The number at the top right is going to be like their tier, their rarity. So these like the grass one, the Archie and the Axe, the Atlas, those trees are both going to be tier 1s. Now we have seen different tiers. I have seen different tiers for these guys. I have seen sort of the Chelion being a tier 5 in early renditions, so they've obviously mixed around with what they are doing, but that seems to be the settling point with all the recent stuff they've been putting out, that those guys will be tier 1s. Obviously we have the Ramfire, who is going to be a tier 5, so that is what's going on over there. The next thing I wanted to look at is these like the triangle of dots. I'm not too sure. There's one thing that throws me out, which is this Archelion being only the 2 bottom ones, because the way I originally saw it, and this Archie is a bit different as well, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what these do. Originally, when I saw like the Atlas tree, I thought it was like 1 was for he's a base form, 2 was for he's the second form, and 3 was for the third form. And you can see here with the Ramfight, that stands true for he's got 2 dots for the second form, and then the Ramfire, if I can zoom in and let you guys see, because my head's in the way again, he's got 3 dots. But the Archie tree is different, because he's got 2, and the Archelion has 2 as well. So might be a thing, but that's pretty sure what it's going to be, but we'll have to wait and see. But moving on from that, we do have the Empath, the Harbinger, and all that sort of stuff. So that is very similar to the elements when we look at that stuff. If we go back over here to the white paper, we have classes, and we do have 5 classes: the Fighter, the Guardian, the Rogue, the Scion, and the Empath. But for instance, Slayer is a combination of fighter and rogue, so you do gain those extra attributes as you go. So the perfect example of that is, we can just look at this ram fight here, and he is a Slayer. So it seems like they get the extra attribute for their class. It was a class, what's it called? Yeah, their extra class attribute at the second stage, but they don't get their extra element until the third stage, just as a generic thing that we're looking at. So into the combat screen again, the next thing I want to note is on the left hand side we do have all the different classes. Now I believe this is going to be your class bonuses. We'll look at something in a second. That was a video that has more detail on the class bonuses, but I believe that has something to do with what you have from those classes. Next up, down the bottom here, we do have what looks to be a card count. So like a deck of cards, that's the way I'm understanding it. And this is where we're not too certain exactly how combat will happen. Whether you build a deck, you get a hand and you just play from that hand, whether it's sort of like a Clash Royale type thing where you can keep playing them, I'm honestly not 100% sure. So that is something I'm going to look at very intently and sort of see what happens, because I'm very curious on what's going to happen there. Next up, we do have, and this is the other thing that's interesting to me, is we do have the milliseconds and the frames. So we got your ping up the top, which to me, ping isn't really relevant unless you're actually having to do something, but not too sure whether that is going to indicate that we're going to have some like interactive play in the auto battle system, or whether it's just there to show you the latency of when you're watching the battle. So that's another thing that I just noticed that I'm going to watch pretty intently at. And also then the final thing I want to look at is the health bars. Nice presentation on the health bars, really on theme for the game, and looking quite solid. So that is it for the new image that we did get. Now, there's a couple things I wanted to go on to. These character cards just sort of further show that stuff I was talking about. Like I said, the Archie having 222 on the evolution tree, not too sure what's going on with that one. But, well, at least what I assume is the evolution tree thing. The next thing I want to look at is over here. I got some videos. So this one here is very interesting. So this is one that's actually over on the Discord. All this stuff I got from the Discord. So when you hover over, you can see we've got the accent on, we've got the health, we've got the energy bar is what I'm going to call it, and we got some of the stats there. But the interesting thing comes here, and this is where I said we get a sneak peek at a Illuvial that we haven't seen before. This one here, looking real Tyranitar-like. I can't wait to see what this thing is. It looks savage in this picture. It looks absolutely savage. So I'm keen to see that bad boy. But this looks to be, I actually tried to translate this, believe it or not. I even put that stuff in there, and it like mid-diameter like it detected it as Latin, but like Google couldn't translate it for me, which kind of sucks. But it looks to me as though this is the bonuses. Like if you have multiple harbingers, if you have 2 harbingers, you'll get the 20%, the 20 damage. If you have 4 of them, you'll get 30 accuracy and 40 damage. And if you have, what is it? Is that 6? Yeah, 6 of them, you'll get 50 accuracy, 60 damage, and attack resist, so defense or something like that. As well. So I think that's just set bonuses that you get for being a harbinger and how many harbingers you have. I don't know whether it's in your deck, on the field, not too sure how that's going to play out. But then we do get into another little screen, which is this one. We do have another bird there that I don't think I've seen that bird anywhere either. And I'm pretty sure this is just going to be a description of what Maelstrom is, what it's strong against, and what it's weak against. I'm pretty sure that's all that's going to be, is a basic description. But I thought this little video actually gave a lot of info, or a lot of insight. And also this is the video that you can see where we do have the Archelion down the bottom here. And you can see like the spikes on it, that it definitely, in my opinion, is the Archelion, but it previously was a tier 5, so you can see that right there as well. Moving on from that, we do have some nice animations from the water tree, the Atlas tree, which it just looks pretty clean. So this is one that they showed us on Discord as well. All these things, like I said, over on Discord, but just a look at the animations, and I'm really keen to see when we do get into combat, if it is full auto, whether we do get the, like a movable camera. Like it doesn't have to be fully detached like this, but I love to be able to change camera angles. I like camera angles in game, so we'll have to see how that goes. But that's a basic look at what their combat looks like. Looking pretty clean, definitely. So that is that one. That we do have this one over here as well, which just shows you like the death animations and the way they sort of disappear. But even just like the water in the background, like the water animation looks really clean as well. It's all pretty solid. So that one, you're just going to watch the death animations again. And then the final one that I want to look at is this little sneak peek that they gave us of the combat screen. Now, the one thing I want to note on this one, sorry, I got the play button in there, but it doesn't have the deck of cards symbol. So the deck's an interesting one. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all pans out in that sense. But let's just go ahead and play this one. So this was the little sneak peek. I believe the health bars have changed a little bit since this one. But the other thing is we should be getting another gameplay trailer, which they're hyping up pretty big on the Discord, so I'm really keen to see it. But we should be getting another gameplay trailer, like a full like cinematic slash gameplay, I believe is going to be trailer on in the next couple weeks. They've been hinting at it, but we haven't actually got any official date on when it's coming out, but hopefully the trailer is awesome, and then it can give us some more info on combat. And once we do get that trailer, which is meant to be the combat trailer or the gameplay trailer, I'll definitely try and get in contact with Kieran again and maybe get him on, and maybe we can grill him with some more questions about combat and try and get more in depth into how the combat will work. But anyway, that is a bit of a look at what we know so far for combat and the way the systems work. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.